Welcome to Born for the Trades, a home service podcast, and I'm your host, Mandy Pala. Today we have someone who has built an entire movement around a simple but powerful idea that blue collar business owners are sitting on more wealth than they realize. Chad Peterson is the founder of Peterson Acquisitions, a six-time author and the creator of quantum stack investing, a framework that helps business owners stop working for income and start building real freedom. With over 100 billion in completed transactions and over 25 years in the game, Chad is widely considered the number one business broker in the country. And he started from the same place a lot of you did. Let's get into it. Welcome to the show, Chad.
Hey, thanks for having me. What's up? What's up? Glad to be here.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, really, really impressed what you have done in the blue collar space. And I know we were chatting, you were showing me all your books. Definitely, we will link all the books in our podcast description so that, home service industry owners, those who are listening to this podcast, they will buy those books, like grab them and read them. And let's get into our first segment here. My first segment is blue collar roots to 100 billion in transactions. So you came from blue collar roots and built one of the most successful M&A firms in the country, right? At what point did you realize the path you were on could lead somewhere most people never get to?
The thing is that blue collar workers have the work ethic. Even if they don't want to do what they're doing,
Right,
and let's just say it's dirty, hot work, they're still gonna do it.
right.
And that kind of grit, that kind of gumption, that kind of hard work. If the blue collar trades understood how to run a business,
Right.
then then they've got it figured out because the tradesmen know tradesmen.
Yeah.
And then if you understand the knowledge behind how to be a business owner and you take that hard work and that grit, then
Yeah.
you got a hell of a combination. So that's what I did to answer your question. That's what I did. And I built a company when I was very young. I sold my first company when I was 19 years old. I sold that company for $150,000.
Wow.
Now, that's not a lot of money, but when you're 19, it is.
Yes.
And then what I did is a light bulb went off. I thought, wait a minute, I can build a company. I'm not too happy about the company. I'd like to do something else, but if I sell it, I'll get paid 3 years of what I made. And then what I can do is I can take that liquidity event that I
Yeah.
just created
Right.
and I can take that liquidity event and I can leverage into a bigger business
Right.
that's paying me more money. So at 19 years old, here I am, by the
Mm.
grace of the universe, God, or whatever you want to call it, I was able to sell my business. And then I thought, well, shit, this is easy.
Mm-hmm.
I'll build a company, I'll sell it for 3 years of what I was making. I just bought myself 3 years of my life back and
Yeah.
I can go do something else. And so I did that about 6 times. Well, if you do that time after time after time, you become a multi millionaire because each liquidity event moves you up in
Up,
business. But
up in
but
business.
most
Yes.
but
Mhm.
most people are trying to grow their business forever. And I tell people, do you want to grow your business or do you want to grow your wealth? Because that's
Mm,
two totally different things.
right. That's that's amazing. Like, what did the early days of, let's say we talk about Peterson acquisition actually look like, and how different was the reality from what you had imagined?
Well, when I was a kid, I sold my first company. I knew a little bit about it. And then I sold my second company. I knew more about it. I
Right.
sold my third. I even knew more about it. So what I did is I started doing it for other people. And so people were like, Chad, you're so good at this. What are you doing? Why are you selling your company? I'm like, man, you sell your company, you get 3 years of your life back because you don't have to work those 3 years. And you can take that liquidity because liquidity leads to wealth. And
Right.
I have a saying, paychecks lead to poverty,
Right.
liquidity leads to wealth.
Love that.
Okay, so if you can create liquidity events, you can become wealthy. Well, how do you create liquidity events? Here's how
Mm.
you do it. you run your contracting company in a way that doesn't deplete the cash flow or deplete the
Mm,
enterprise value. That way, at all times, your company is sellable. When you get tired, when you get burned out, you sell that company, you create a liquidity event, and
mm,
then you move forward with a larger business paying you 10 to 15 times more than what you're getting paid now. So how it looked like is I was doing it for myself, but
yeah.
then other people were like, what is this kid doing?
Yeah.
Why is he selling a business every 3 years?
Right.
And so then I started help because people would come to me and say, Chad, help me. So that's where it started. And then now I'm nationwide,
Mm,
and I work with over 200 business owners a month, and we work with probably 4,000 buyers a month. I'm showing people how to buy a business. I'm showing people how to sell a business.
wow.
I'm showing them how to run a business in a way that protects you from failure. And so
Right.
all my teachings are around this.
Love it. Love it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good stuff out there. And we have another segment called blue collar businesses as wealth vehicles. So you have said like trade businesses like are some of the most overlooked wealth building vehicles in America. Why do you think
Mhm.
so many owners in HVAC, plumbing, and electrical still don't see their business that way?
Well, because a lot of times the blue collar world, they somehow don't have a lot of belief in themselves.
Hmm.
Um, they're they're glad they're not working for somebody else. Their body, if they're a tradesman and they're the tech, a lot of
Right.
times their body's hurting. They can't really see beyond what they're doing right now, and they can't really look at their business
Yeah.
as a wealth builder. And I think a lot of that is because the our market, our economy, our culture has been looking down on blue collar trades for the last 40 years. It's like, if you don't go to college, you're dumb. I mean, that's really what it
Yeah.
comes down to.
Yeah.
And so the blue collar man has been taught that, oh, I'm just a contractor, I'm just a plumber, well, now there's
Hmm.
plumbers are making more than attorneys now,
Exactly. That's
you
what I'm
know,
looking at. Yeah.
yeah. And so right now what's happening is with artificial intelligence is going to take a lot of tech jobs, probably 95% of tech jobs it's going to
100%.
take.
Yeah.
So if the common man, the blue collar man's been looked down upon, well, guess what? All these coders, all these graphic designers, all these techs that can do certain things, but now Claude or AI in some fashion can do it, they're out of a job. and
Mm,
and and at least for the next 10, 15 years, no robot is going to be able to get on a roof. No robot's going to be able to come in your house and fix the toilet.
right.
So the blue collar tradesmen are in a great position to
Yeah.
win.
Yep.
And if I could help the blue collar world understand how to create wealth using their skills, I would
Mm,
love to do that. And as I showed you before, I wrote this book. I was ahead of my
mm.
time, from blue to white,
Yeah.
showing the blue collar man how to become the owner
Right.
and put down the tool bag and grab the briefcase. If I show one blue collar man how to become a millionaire, then I've really made the book worth writing.
Worth
So
writing. Yeah.
I'm teaching things that people don't understand, and uh, a lot of the blue collar guys, they just go to work every day and they don't spend time on this kind of thing,
Mm,
and they don't really spend the time on self development and investing in themselves, because they go to work, they come home, they're glad they made $500, they're glad they made $800, whatever it is.
right.
They got a job, they sold the job, but the reality of it is that if you're a blue collar guy today, you have to have marketing around you. You
Right.
have to have a good message. You don't want to be the lowest price guy out there. You want to have a message about who you are, what your
Yeah.
company is, and you have to have marketing. And so, blue collar tradesmen, they don't have the marketing and the business acumen that they really need. That's why businessmen and the blue collar need to come together to partner now.
Right.
And the blue collar tradesmen need to partner up with somebody who really understands the game of marketing and visibility and messaging and branding.
Yes.
And and they have the blue collar man has to have somebody who's a really good corporate manager, somebody
Yeah.
to manage it. So you need this is what you need. You need marketing, management, and messaging, the three M's.
Three M's.
And then you need the tech side of it, which the blue collar trades has that. But I
Right.
would also say training. So it's MMMTT. You need
Mm.
marketing, messaging, management, and then the technicality of it, and
Yeah.
then the training around it. So you
Yeah.
anymore of the blue collar trades, they need to be a recruiting and a training center.
Yes. Recruiting and
Okay, so
training. Hmm.
yeah, if you want to be the biggest roofing company, if you want to be the biggest HVAC company, if you want to be really successful, you have to stop thinking that you're in the roofing business or in the HVAC business. You're not.
Hmm.
You are in the marketing, messaging, and management of, yes, the tech of the technicality of what you do, but the training of what you
Train.
do. You are a
Training.
nonstop training center, and that's how you hire and you train nonstop to where you pick the best of the best techs that have some sales ability, that
Right.
has the social skills, the basic skills,
Yeah.
waking up every day and being on the job site by 7:30. That's a skill.
Right.
And then knowing how to talk to the customer and upselling the customer with integrity, but upselling the customer to get that ticket value higher, and then
Yeah.
getting the job done in an efficient manner to protect margin for the company.
Right.
So the blue collar worlds, the blue people that are in the blue collar world, the ones that are really succeeding is the ones that understand marketing, messaging,
Messaging.
management, also the technicality of what you do for a living, but then
True.
also nonstop training.
Hmm.
And you got to train 10 to get
Hmm.
yourself one good one, or train 20 to get yourself one good one.
100%, 100% I agree. Like, we do digital marketing, like, for the contractors across the country. And today I was like, talking to my leadership, like, to actually have more trainings. I know this applies to us as well. Most of the things that you just said, MMM and TT. Yes, like, trainings. Like, we are having weekly one or two. I think we're gonna double down on that. Like, trainings are very, very, very important. Obviously, marketing is the core with the messaging. You nailed it. I think this is definitely, I think all the audiences, like, they are listening to this one. This was really powerful. I love that. Love that. And I think next segment, we're going to dive into quantum stack investing. So, Chad, walk us through quantum stack investing in plain language. What is it, and why did you feel like it needed to exist?
Well, quantum stack investing is a framework that shows people how to take a quantum leap into wealth. I can take a blue collar worker right now, and within 5 years, I can turn him into a multimillionaire.
Wow.
So that's quantum stack investing. Quantum means quantum leap into wealth. Stack means stack the odds of success in your favor, like a bank or a casino would.
Right.
It also means stacking one opportunity on top of the next. So let's just say you own a roofing company right now and you like that. Well, you might like it for the next 3 or 4 years, but what you'd really like is if you sold that and
Right.
you created a liquidity event, and that
Hmm.
liquidity event would buy you a much larger business that pays you 10 times more because you need liquidity to
Hmm.
buy larger assets that pay you more money. The last part of my book is investing, showing you how to run your business like an investment, not a job.
Love that. Love that. I love that cigar, by the way. Looks
Yeah,
amazing.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do it. I got to have a cigar or two a day. Do you like cigars?
No. Cigars, no. And
Well, we'll work on it. We'll work on it because
we'll
these,
work.
if you get the goods, if you get good cigars, man, there's nothing better.
Nothing better. What's the country? I think Nicaragua, right? Nicar
Yeah, Nicaragua's good
Nicaragua,
tobacco.
right?
Nicaragua's good tobacco.
Nicaragua. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Mm.
I think I wanted to ask, like, one more thing. At what stage of business ownership does QSI actually start to work? And is it too
At
late?
every stage, at
Every,
every stage, before you start, you need to read it. And while you're running your business, you need to read it. And whenever you're selling your business, you need to read it. Before you buy, you need to read it.
hmm,
That that is the best book that's ever been written on how to become wealthy as a self-employed business owner. That's the best book ever written.
best book. And what was, do you have that book? Do you want to show it to the audience? Do
Yeah,
you have it handy?
yeah, yeah,
So guys, we are talking about, like, this book, it's a must read. Here you go. Quantum Stack Investing. Highly, highly recommended. And we're gonna link everything in
yeah.
the
And
podcast
and so
description.
I have a light bulb on a couple of my books. The fact is that a light bulb will go off in your mind, and
Hmm.
once you see it, you can't unsee it. I'll show your readers how to take a quantum leap into wealth, no matter where they're at, stack
Hmm.
the odds in their favor, and treat their business like an investment, not their baby, not their job. So I show them, and I have courses around this. I teach them how to do this, and I show them how to turn their small business into multi millions of dollars through liquidity events.
Love it. Love it. That's amazing. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna grab, like, one as well. Looks like a big book, but
Yeah,
I
it is.
love I
Well, I'll
love
tell you what though, if you want to read a book that's not so big,
yeah.
uh, you can read the QSI Shift. Okay, here's that book, the
Hey,
QSI Shift, and that's only about 210 pages.
that yeah, I
But
can knock it out in 2 days, yeah.
yeah, it's a 6 hour read. But once you read this, you'll never look at business or money the same. You never
Okay.
will.
Awesome.
And so this is not for the Ivy Leagues. This is for everyday people that really want the real answers on how to create wealth, time, and freedom in their
Mm,
life.
love it. Love it. Definitely I'm gonna order and start reading. That's gonna be
You
great
know,
for
you know
the
what
long weekend. Yeah.
Mandeep, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you and your audience.
Yeah.
There's a real problem. I wrote the book Wealth, Time, and Freedom. And in this book, it's a short book and it leads into my better books.
Yeah.
But this book simply teaches people why they're not successful. Why do you not have wealth in your life? Like,
Yeah.
wouldn't you want to know why you don't have it in your life? Why don't you have the time you want? Why do you not have the freedom you want? I'll tell you why.
Bye.
It's systemic.
Systemic?
You're, it's systemic. Your parents, your peers, your professors, even
Mm,
your professionals, your CPAs, your attorneys, your mom, dad, brother, sister, aunt, your teachers, your professors.
mm,
Nobody knew how to create wealth, time, and freedom in their life because they didn't have the information.
mm,
Your church isn't going to teach you how to have wealth, time, and freedom. If you're whether you're a Jesus guy or a Muhammad guy or a Buddha guy or whatever, you're not going to go to church and
mm.
learn how to have wealth, time, and freedom in your life.
Yeah.
The church is still talking about what some religious figure did thousands of years ago.
Right.
That does not help us out today. Okay, I don't give a shit what some guy did 3,000 years ago.
Right.
I want to know if I'm gonna go to church,
Mm,
if I'm gonna go to school, if I'm gonna go anywhere.
yeah.
I want to know what's gonna help me today because today is way different than 5 years ago. Would you agree?
I agree. Yeah.
Okay, so 5 years ago, we remember what happened 5 or 6 years ago, don't we?
Are you talking about pandemic?
Yes.
Plandemic?
And is the market different now than it was 5 years ago?
It's totally different.
So the market has changed, but have you?
Hey, real quick, if you're in the home service space and you care about getting more calls, more jobs, and actually growing this year, don't skip this. First up, Broccoli. This one's a game changer. While you're out on a job, asleep, or just missed a call, Broccoli's AI voice agents are answering your phones 24/7, booking jobs, following up on estimates, and even dispatching texts in real time, no more missed leads, no more will call you back. It plugs right into tools like Service Titan, and you can even match the AI voice to your brand. It's basically a full-time receptionist team without the overhead. Check them out at broccoli.com. Next, grow nearby. This is where things separate, because getting leads is one thing, but becoming the company everyone remembers, that's a different level. Grow Nearby helps home service businesses dominate their local market with high-end content, paid ads, and real strategy behind it. Not random posting, not guesswork. A system built to consistently bring in qualified leads while building a brand that actually stands out. If you're tired of blending in and ready to become the go-to name in your area, go to grownearby.com and take a look. And of course, grow reviews, because you can be the best. But if nobody sees it, it doesn't matter. Grow Reviews helps you collect real video testimonials from happy customers, the kind that instantly build trust and close deals before you even show up. They make it ridiculously easy to capture and showcase those real customer moments that sell for you. If you want more trust, more credibility, and more booked jobs, head to growreviews.com. All right, now let's get back into it.
See, as a business owner, if the market has changed, have you? Well, if I go to church to hear for the 900 millionth time what Jesus said or whoever said, what in the hell does that do for me? It doesn't do anything for me. We're in the middle of the biggest wealth transfers going on right now. The biggest shift in our economy is happening right now.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence is upon us right now. Jobs are being taken away from us right now. People are scared, fearful. They don't know what to do. Education is lacking. The school systems, the Harvard universities aren't even understanding and keeping up with how fast this is moving.
It is how fast it's moving and how they can actually, cope up with what's happening right now.
So how old are you? How old are you, Mandeep?
Me? I will just educate myself.
Well, how old are you? How old are you?
I am 40.
You're 40 years old. So that means you were born in 1986. Am I right?
85.
85. Is the world drastically different since 1985 to now?
Absolutely. It's totally different with the technology, with AI.
Yeah. The mentality, right? Everything.
Yeah, mentality, everything. Yeah.
So again, whatever you learned in school 15 years ago is not relevant today. And what you learn about church, something about some guy 2,500 years ago said this, doesn't help you today.
Yeah, absolutely. And no one taught me how to make wealth. This is something
right.
I figured out on my own, right?
Yeah. So that's what I'm passionate about doing. And I also run Misfit Ministries, where I do business ministry. I'm teaching people how to do these things, and it's in the spirit of Matthew 7:7, which is ask and seek and knock and know that it will be there. In other words, you have to believe it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
And so I run Misfit Ministries, where I'm showing your ordinary people how to become extraordinary millionaires through the business principles that I teach.
That's awesome. Love it. Love it. I'm going to actually look that up as well and link everything. So you gave me goosebumps when it comes to creating wealth. No one is teaching. I know I'm going to read your book as well. I want to ask you, how simple is that to create wealth? Just 1 or 2 points, high level, that you can actually share. So that I'm gonna read your book, but yeah, a couple of points, how is it easy?
It's very simple, very, very easy. Let me ask you and your audience one thing. Have you ever played chess?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever, whenever you're playing chess, have you ever used the king right off the bat?
No.
Cash flow is king. You always protect cash flow on the chessboard. You don't ever touch the king. You keep the king protected. So if you're earning $300,000 a year right now,
Yeah.
good. Keep earning $300,000 a year. Here's the problem that people do, man, deep, and pay close attention to the math because it could easily confuse you, but it's very simple to understand.
Got it. Okay.
If you're making $300,000 a year net, your company is worth $900,000 right now. Okay. Right now, you don't have to do a damn thing to it. If you're making 300 a year, your company is worth $900,000. You follow me?
I follow you. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But here's what people do. They say, I want to grow my business, right?
Yeah.
They spend $50,000 on a new van or truck or trailer. They spend money on a consultant. They spend. Well, they were making 300 grand, but now they just spent 150 grand.
Hmm.
Now they've reduced the value of their company by over half. You're not worth 900 grand. You're worth less than 450.
450. Less than 450. Yeah.
Okay. But they say, yeah, but Chad, we're growing. We had to buy that to grow. And I say, great. So you spent $150,000 on
Hmm.
equipment and all this other bullshit you thought you needed.
Right.
Okay. But if you spend 150 grand, that means that you need to go you need to go do $1 million in plumbing, electrical, HVAC,
Yeah.
garage doors. You have to go make $1 million out of 15% margin to make up for what you spent. And you haven't even made any money yet. You just had to go do $1 million worth of work just to break even.
Yeah.
So you always protect cash flow. And instead of trying to grow your business by robbing cash flow to grow for future possibility of growth,
Hmm.
you sell your business and take that 900 grand right now.
Yeah.
You can go buy one of the 33 million businesses in the United States that are out there, and they're making more money than you're making right now at 300 grand. With $900,000, you can go buy a business that's paying you $2 million a year right now.
Wow. And then you sell it again after 3, 4 years, buy another.
You run it for 4 years, you pay down that debt service. So
Yeah.
you're making money, but paychecks lead to poverty. Liquidity leads to wealth. So you want that liquidity to stack up in the form of paying down equity.
Right.
Then you're going to get you're going to get your earnings too. So let's just say you're making $1.6 million a year in your company. You're going to make about 950 grand a year in paychecks,
Yeah.
but you're going to be paying down $700,000 a year in equity.
Yeah.
So don't grow your business. Stop doing that. Stop growing your business.
Mm.
Run it for 4 or 5 years. Make your paychecks, which you'll be taxed on.
Yeah.
So paychecks lead to poverty because you're half of that's going to Uncle Sam.
Yeah. Uncle
That
Sam.
that liquidity is adding up in 4 or 5 years. Sell that company, unlock that liquidity, and buy what we call the NLB, the next larger business.
Next larger business. People, but yeah, I love that. This is amazing stuff. People, I think they stuck into like, day to day, they have emotions attached, like, they have built the company culture, why I'm gonna like, sell it, and they have to rebuild it from scratch, right? Like, don't you like, get those kind of like, answers like, from people, why to start another like ground up, another
No,
like,
I don't. No, you don't. You don't ever start ground up. The days to start a business are over. There's 33 million companies in the United States. There's $10 trillion about to change hands in the United States in the form of businesses. 12 million businesses will be going up for sale in the next 5 to 7 years.
wow.
If you it is you would have to be stupid to go build a business right now. There's too many of them that are for sale. So the failure rate on starting a business is over 90%. But the failure rate on owning a business that's already been in business for a long time is
Mhm.
only 1 out of 97 chance that you'll fail. And if you
Wow.
learn what I teach, you probably won't fail.
Wow. Well, yesterday, like, even my company, Grow Nearby, we are a marketing company, onboarded myself because I launched a home service company here in Tampa, Washy Bear. It's a pressure washing company. Better, like, I could have invited you before, maybe 2 months ago, so that I could have, like, bought a business, not like, starting. But
Well,
anyways, now.
I could have I could have helped you buy a pressure washing company and you'd be making 200 grand a year right now. And instead of trying to get it to making you 200 grand, all
Hmm.
you have to do is run it for 4 years. You've paid down half your debt in 4 or 5 years, and you've made money. Now you sell it to somebody who's just as hungry like you to
Hmm.
own that same company in 4 or 5 years. And all you did is bought 3 years of your life back. And then you moved up 10 to 15 times in income because that liquidity leads to wealth.
Right.
Startups are hard.
Hard. Hard.
Now, with a power washing company with who you are, Mandeep, you get a truck, you get the tank trailer, you get the power washer that's high gallons per minute, you do all that, you get the chemicals, the hoses, all that. With your skill set, you can start something like that pretty good because you know how to do the marketing and get it
Yeah.
known in the city. You can do it. But a lot of people out there, again, they might want to go out there and do some power washing, but they don't have all of Mandeep's skills.
Hmm.
You can do that for them and get them up and running. But what I'm saying is there's an easier way, and you can buy that. Like, for instance, Mandeep, you should sell your company in 4 or 5 years, and you should
Yeah.
sell that company. Let's just say you get it up to making you $300,000 a year
Right.
net.
Net.
$300,000 a year net. You can sell that company for $900,000,
Hmm.
and you could literally go buy a $7 or $8 million company paying you $2.5 million a year in 4 years. So
Seven,
do
eight,
you
seven,
want?
seven, eight, doing in like revenue, but it's gonna be net will be different, right?
No,
Buying
no,
is
no, 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 no,
okay.
no, no, no. You'll buy a $7 or $8 million company
Okay.
that will be paying you $2.5 million a year net.
Wow. That's
People don't
amazing.
understand this. They don't understand this. They're just going to work. They don't understand what opportunity they're missing. I teach it. They can go to www.chadpeterson.com.
Yeah.
They can go to petersonacquisitions.com. I teach this kind of thing. And it's something that if you don't understand it, I consider it you being illiterate. If you don't understand what I teach, you are business illiterate.
Yeah. I think a lot of like, business owners, I think I had so many guests as well. Never like, discuss or talked about this. This is something I think people should be aware of about, like you just said, literate. I think, yeah, everyone, those who are listening, like, make sure you go to this website and we're gonna link in the chat. I think there is one segment I really wanted to talk to you, Shad, about AI. There is a lot of fear right now about AI taking over industries. You have said trade businesses are actually more valuable because of it. Make that case for that.
Well, let me say it this way. If you're blue collar and you're a tradesman and you're also around good people, you have a chance at surviving this AI run. But the people that are blue collar
Hmm.
that are using AI are going to dominate.
Dominate.
Okay, because you have to take AI now. You have to get your website, you have to get your SEO, you've got to get everything right. You've got to be visible, man. If nobody can see you, you're not going to win.
Right.
So you have to use the AI nowadays. The Google algorithm is changing. How people do business is changing. You have to use AI in your business to keep up with how things are changing. So being a guy who can swing a hammer or can do a trade is no longer enough. You have to get with somebody who understands the AI, the marketing, the business, all of that,
Yeah.
and form a partnership and come together and then understand how to build a business to be sellable.
Right. How to sell it. Yeah.
Yeah, and those businesses that don't use AI will be behind the times,
Hmm.
and and you need to be blue collar with AI. That's the combo.
That's the combo,
You
and
know,
that's a deadly combo. Like, our clients now, I think we started more than like, 1 year ago, how to rank on LLMs, Chat GPT, AI overviews, because that's not the future that's coming. And home service industry owners, they are actually getting leads, phone calls from AI, from Chat GPT, which is insane. And I think you're right, damn right, that people, those who gonna implement with AI, they're gonna dominate. Love that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So the white collar guys, the people that thought that their degree was going to take care of them the rest of their life, you got coders that are being fired right now because
Yeah.
Claude can do it. Claude
Yeah.
can code right now. And
Yeah.
right now, I can hire a coder. I can hire a coder for $20 an hour to sit in my office right here. And I can tell Claude to analyze everything and give my programmer an exact path to do it. That
Right.
program in 8 hours, $160 is what it would cost me in
Yeah.
one day
In one
to
day.
do everything that Claude tells you to do exactly based on what you need.
Yeah. A lot of damage can be done. Like, I think I have built so many internal AI tools, like with the help of Claude. It's insane. You're right. Yeah. You don't need like, people, developers to actually build it. Now I think the jobs out in the market is prompt engineering. So, like, that's it.
Yeah,
Prompt.
it's knowing how to use the technology, and
Yes.
then having enough tech understanding to get in, get through, and get it done. But
Right.
I could have a guy come in my office today for
Mhm.
8 hours and totally revamp almost everything based on what Claude tells me to do. Now, I'm not the guy, I'm not the geek that's going to
Yeah.
go in there, but I could hire a code geek for $20 an hour right now to do something that would have taken months and probably $20,000 a year ago.
Right. Right. Yeah. That's not the future. It's happening already. And my last segment, and then we're gonna wrap up that. A lot of like trade owners are proud of how hard they work, but working hard and building freedom are two different things. That's, I believe. Where does that disconnect come from?
It comes from a generational saying that says you need to work hard. It was beat into everybody's heads. Working hard is not the goal. And working smart is not the goal either. It's
Hmm.
not one or the other. It's a matter of what do you want in your life? How do you get there?
Hmm.
Don't confuse movement with momentum
Love that.
because you can move all day long and not get anything done.
Yeah.
So it's really stupid. Okay, so somebody says, "Well, work smart, not hard." Well, of course, I'm not going out there to work stupidly.
Yeah.
I am being smart about what I'm doing,
Yeah. Exactly.
but it's about what do you want? Do you want to retire in 5 years?
Hmm.
Then you need to reverse engineer a plan that will get you there,
Hmm.
and that will oftentimes, especially for the blue collar guys, mean I can't be working on the jobs. I got to be building something that's much bigger than
Bigger.
me.
Hmm.
Yeah, so working hard was handed down from our parents because that's what they were told.
Right. Yeah.
Because
That's
that comes from factory workers. You had to go to a factory, you had to work your ass off, or you got fired. So it's
yeah.
like work hard, you'll be okay. Well, we're not in the factory days anymore.
Yeah, we are not in the factory days. Like, yeah, my dad, he was into doors and windows back in India. Yeah. So this is what I think
Well, how
I've
many?
been.
Let me ask you a question. How many people are now fat, out of shape, diabetic, and sick today versus 30 years ago?
Today versus 30 years ago,
Yeah.
I think I would say a lot now.
The norm now is
Mhm.
fat, out of shape, and sickness. That's the norm.
That's the norm. Yeah.
Okay, but guess what? Our parents told us to eat all the food on our plate, didn't they?
Yeah, you gotta finish it. Yeah, you gotta finish it. Yeah.
See how that one little bit of knowledge can transform an entire person's life?
Yeah.
So if you were taught to work hard and you were taught to eat everything on your plate, well, look at us now. We're fat and out of shape and sick and
Yeah.
diabetic.
Diabetic.
So
Tot-
so yesterday's wisdom is today's curse. You got to get with the information today to
Yeah.
make good adjustments to get where you want tomorrow.
Love that. Yesterday's wisdom is today's curse, man. Love it. Love it. I think for the first time, I think someone gave me goosebumps like many times on the show. Love that. I think we'll definitely invite again. You have a lot of info, a lot of like, knowledge, wealth of knowledge. and we will link everything. What's the best way? I know you mentioned your website name. What's the best way to connect with you right away on?
Just go to Real Chad Peterson on Instagram at Real Chad Peterson, or go to chadpeterson.com. But as far as your audience goes, Mandeep, I have a passion for speaking
Mhm.
in front of the blue collar world. I really do. So if somebody wants me to go teach what I teach, I'm open to that.
Awesome.
I do charge for my speaking, of course, but when I go speak, I move the room. I get people thinking. I educate, and they leave there a different person. But I do speak all over the country. In fact, sometimes internationally. So uh, I speak in front of big crowds, and I really, really get them to think about their life and their business and their money in a totally different way. And everybody's talking about growing their business, and that's you're never going to get me talking about that. I'm going
Yeah.
to show you how to grow your wealth, your time, and your
Mm.
freedom. And I'm going to show you how to use some pretty counterintuitive moves and a mindset shift that will change your whole life.
Love it. Love it. Totally game changer for me. Like, I think I've never experienced like, this kind of knowledge like, that you provided here, and definitely gonna read your books. Gonna start with that, I think QSI, right? That's the one.
If
QSI.
I were if I were you, I would go to chadpeterson.com and I would
And
buy the QSI shift immediately.
QSI shift. Okay. That's gonna be great for
QSI shift. Yeah.
QSI shift. That's gonna be good one for this Memorial weekend to knock it out as soon as possible. And great to have you here. Like, I don't know how we got here. My JC, big shout out to her, and good stuff. Thank you for sharing all that like today. I hope to all the audiences you loved this podcast. Today's episode was like amazing, and I really want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Grow Reviews and Broccoli AI. Check out the tools out there, crushing in the market and helping home service industry. And Chad, again, thank you again. And we'll definitely be in touch. And I think we're gonna have part 2 episode pretty soon. And you have a great weekend.
You too, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you.